What if the challenges you face, the heartbreaks, the delays, the people who seem to appear at exactly the right or wrong time, what if none of it was random? What if you chose it? Before you were born, before breath, before body, you made agreements, invisible contracts, written not in ink, but in intention. In this video, we're diving into one of the most mystical, profound, and often forgotten truths of the soul's journey: the contracts you made before birth, agreements you made with people you haven't yet met, lessons you agreed to learn, even if they break you, purposes you promised to fulfill, even if the world tries to silence them. These are not fairy tales. These are ancient spiritual truths echoed in countless traditions, from the Akashic records to Tibetan Book of the Dead to whispers remembered in near-death experiences. And if you've ever asked yourself, why does this feel so familiar? Why did I go through that pain? Why do I feel called to something I can't explain? This message is for you. 1. The pre-birth realm, where souls remember. Imagine this. Before you were born, there was no time, no name, no identity, just you, a luminous being of consciousness, part of something vast and infinite. And in that sacred space, you remembered everything, not just who you had been, but what your soul still needed to grow, to evolve, to return to the light more whole, more expanded. You weren't forced. You were asked. Are you ready to return? Will you take on this path? Again? And you, brave, eternal, radiant, said yes. But before stepping into the veil of forgetting, you made contracts, agreements that would shape your life, not as punishment, but as purpose. 2. Soul contracts with other beings. Some of the people you'll meet in this life, you've already known. You made agreements with them, not always to bring you love and comfort, sometimes to bring you pain, friction, contrast. A mother who would abandon you, a lover who would awaken you through heartbreak, a friend who'd appear in your darkest moment, carrying exactly the words your soul longed to hear. These are not coincidences. They are contracts, forged in the light to serve your growth. Even your enemies might be your greatest teachers. Pause for a moment. Who in your life has challenged you the most? Who awakened something in you, even if it hurt? What if their soul loved yours enough to play the villain? 3rd, lessons you chose to master. Some people spend years asking, why me? Why the illness, the trauma, the loss? But what if your soul chose those very experiences as lessons, not out of masochism, but mastery? To learn compassion, you needed betrayal. To discover strength, you needed to be brought to your knees. To awaken purpose, you needed to taste despair. These are not punishments. They are initiations. Your soul chose them with love, knowing you would forget, knowing you would one day remember. 4. The amnesia is part of the game. When you were born, you forgot. That was part of the agreement. The veil was drawn. The contracts went silent. And suddenly, life felt random, unfair, chaotic. But deep inside you, something remembers. A pull, a knowing, a strange sense that you're not just figuring things out, but recalling something ancient. Déjà vu, dreams of places you've never been, an unexplainable resonance with certain symbols, books, people. These are echoes from before, breadcrumbs from the contracts your soul wrote and is now trying to remember. And sometimes, all it takes is a whisper, a moment, a message like this one, to wake you up. 5. Contracts of purpose. The work you came to do. You didn't come here empty-handed. You brought gifts, sacred tools woven into your very being. Some of these are obvious: a talent, a calling, a passion. Others are buried beneath pain, empathy born from suffering, wisdom carved from silence, healing sparked by your own wounds. Your soul made a contract of purpose. Maybe it's to create, to guide, to heal, to protect, to awaken. Maybe it's something that doesn't have a name, only a feeling. But here's the truth. You don't have to find your purpose. You only need to remember it. And that remembering happens when you follow what feels alive, what lights your chest on fire, what brings tears to your eyes for reasons you can't explain. That is the contract speaking. 6. Breaking the contract. Is that even possible? Some ask, if I made these contracts, can I break them? The answer is layered. You always have free will. But the soul is persistent. You can ignore the call, delay the lesson, resist the guidance. But the soul will circle back. Different people, new situations, same patterns, until you say, enough. I remember. I'm ready. Contracts are not cages. They are invitations. And when you accept them, willingly, life begins to move with a rhythm you'd forgotten was yours. 7. Walk-ins, soul swaps, and rewritten agreements. Sometimes life changes so dramatically, it feels like you're not even the same person anymore. And in rare mystical cases, that's not far from the truth. There are stories, whispered in esoteric circles, of walk-ins, when one soul leaves the body and another steps in to complete a mission. Other times, contracts are renegotiated during traumatic events, near-death experiences, or deep spiritual awakenings. Your soul might say, the lesson is learned, the path has shifted, let's evolve this agreement. And when that happens, your life may explode into transformation. Old identities fall away, new gifts awaken, and the people around you might say, you've changed. And you have, because your soul signed a new page, and now you're walking it. 8. The compass within. How the soul nudges you. How do you know if you're walking the path of your contract? Not with logic, not with checklists, but with feeling. When you align with what your soul agreed to, you feel it. There's a sense of peace, even when things are hard, a quiet click inside your chest, a knowing, this is right, even if it's terrifying. And when you drift from the contract, there's friction, resistance, a nagging unease you can't shake, even if life looks successful from the outside. Your soul never abandons you. It speaks through emotion, through gut instincts, through dreams and repeating patterns that tug at your awareness. You don't need a map. You are the map. The path unfolds every time you trust your inner compass. 9. Synchronicities, echoes of the contract. Have you ever noticed how, just when you're about to give up, something small, strange, meaningful happens? A stranger says the exact words you needed. A book falls off the shelf. You see 11:11 again. These are not random. They are reminders, echoes of your contract, nudging you to remember. Synchronicities are how the universe whispers, yes, you're getting warmer. They increase when you're in alignment, when your choices mirror your soul's blueprint. The more you listen, the louder they get, and the more you ignore them, the more life starts to feel heavy, stagnant, misaligned. Trust the signs, even the small ones, especially the small ones. 10. Not everyone has the same contract. Some souls came here to teach, some to experience love, some to face shadow and heal ancestral pain. You are not meant to walk the path of others. Your contracts are yours alone. This is why comparison kills intuition. You are not here to copy someone else's script. You're here to remember your own. If your journey looks strange, nonlinear, or lonely, that might be because your soul signed up for something rare, a mission that requires solitude, a depth others don't understand, a strength you didn't know you had, until now. So what now? What do you do when you realize you're living out soul contracts you don't fully remember, but deeply feel? You begin to awaken. You start to take your life less personally and more sacredly. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, What did I agree to learn through this? That's the moment your entire reality begins to shift. 11. If you feel this, you're remembering. If you felt the quiet pull, if your pain never made sense, but you knew it wasn't meaningless, if you've looked at the stars and thought, I've been here before, then something inside you is already awakening. This isn't about becoming something new. It's about remembering what you've always been. A soul, with purpose, with contracts, with power, and most of all, with choice. Even now, you are not trapped by fate. You are sculpting it every time you choose to align with love over fear, presence over autopilot, courage over comfort. 12th, a practice for remembering. You don't need a temple, a guru, or a perfect life. To remember your soul contracts, begin with this. Sit in silence. Let your body be still. Let the noise fade, and ask, softly, honestly, what did I come here to learn? Who did I promise to become? What do I need to forgive to finally move forward? Then listen, not just with ears, but with the heart, the skin, the gut. Write down what arises. Trust what comes, even if it doesn't make sense yet. Your soul has been waiting for this moment. 13. The power of reclaiming your contracts. Sometimes we abandon the path. We give up on the calling. We numb the pain. We pretend we don't care. But the contract is patient. It never punishes. It never shames. It simply waits for the moment you're ready to return. And when you do, even after decades, it meets you with open arms. Because you were never off track. You were simply gathering what you needed. Every detour was part of the plan. Even the forgetting was part of the remembering. 14th, affirmations to activate the contract. Speak these aloud. Let your voice call it back. I remember who I am. I chose this path with love. I walk in alignment with my soul's agreement. Everything that happens serves my awakening. I forgive myself for forgetting. I trust the timing of my remembering. Let these words wash over your nervous system like sunlight. Let them soften the fear. Let them anchor the truth. You are not lost. You are reconnecting. So now you know. The pain wasn't pointless. The timing wasn't wrong. The people who came and went were never accidents. They were part of a divine architecture, written not by fate, but by you, before you ever arrived. You made contracts, to love and to lose, to fall and to rise, to forget, and then awaken. And now, you're awakening. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not late. You are arriving. You are not here to survive. You are here to remember. So if this message touched something deep inside you, that quiet place that always knew, but never had the words, then don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who feels lost, with someone who's searching, with someone who needs to hear that their pain has meaning. Because we don't just remember alone, we remember together. And maybe, just maybe, this video was part of your contract too. Until next time, may your path be lit by memory. May your choices echo with truth, and may your soul never forget how powerful it truly is.